Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. On today's episode, what we are going to do is we are going to do our Tuesday takeaways of Week 7 of the NFL season. Before I begin, let me know in the comments down below what you took away from this weekend of football. I'm going to try to hit not every team, but just every game, 1 point. Let me know what I missed, maybe something I even got wrong. Again, I don't watch every game in great detail. I watch the red zone. I have couple of 2 to 3 games on, and then I watch it throughout the day. So if I miss something, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into our takeaways of Week 7. The Denver Broncos started the week off on Thursday night, beating the New Orleans Saints 33-10. Saints need Derek Carr back. The run game for Denver kind of looked like it got going. Williams had 14 carries, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a good sight to see if you're the Broncos and Broncos fan. The London game, the New England Patriots lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars 32-16. The Jaguars indeed have found themselves a wide receiver. I really like Thompson Jr. 5 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. But on the other hand, Drake May showing flashes that he could potentially be the QB of the future for the New England Patriots. He had 276 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Definitely showing flashes. The Atlanta Falcons lost to the Seattle Seahawks 34-14. The Seattle's defense, I got to say, they really showed up. They were definitely like bend, don't break. The Falcons outgained the Seahawks, if I remember looking at the stats correctly. I should have wrote down. But not only they outgained the Seahawks, but the defense had forced 3 turnovers, including 2 interceptions and 3 sacks. So holding a team that outgains you to just 14 points while you scored 34, I think is pretty impressive. Good job by the Seahawks. The Buffalo Bills, after starting off slow, get the ball rolling, and once it started rolling, the Tennessee Titans couldn't stop 34-10. Keenan Coleman is my takeaway on this game. Is had 225 yards receiving off of 4 receptions, big play potential there, and then Amari Cooper catches his first touchdown pass as a Buffalo Bill. We'll see how that goes as their chemistry develops. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Cleveland Browns 21-14. I guess the big takeaway I have is, number one, the Browns defense still seems to show that it can be great at times. The Bengals throughout the games kind of struggled to move the ball against them. But I think what was more perplexing about this game is who the backup quarterback actually was. Thompson Robinson gets the first crack at it after Watson got injured. Unfortunately, I don't like to see anyone get injured. Seems like he's done for the season, but it does give the Browns the option to go to Jameis Winston, who they should have went to in the first place. Robinson throws 2 interceptions. Winston comes in, immediately scores a touchdown. And I'm wondering if they'll just go with Jameis Winston moving forward. The Green Bay Packers beat the Houston Texans 24-22. Jacobs has his first, I think, career ever receiving touchdown. That was kind of a ridiculous stat. But the Packers defense is what sticks out to me. They're looking good. Stroud in that offense, that Texans offense, other than running the ball, this looked completely confused, inept. And yet, despite how bad the Texans passing offense looked, they only lost by 2 points. That's kind of crazy to me. And then McManus makes the game-winning field goal. Maybe the Packers have a kicker. I don't really want to talk about this game, being a Dolphin fan, but 16-10, the Dolphins lost to the Colts. I want to know what Colts fans think at this point of Anthony Richardson. Very raw still, but man, I was not impressed. He had a QBR of 24.4. I just wasn't impressed with him, and I wasn't impressed with anything the Dolphins offense did either. Tua is supposed to come back this week. We'll see what happens there. The Detroit Lions beat the Minnesota Vikings with a last second field goal, 31-29. My other team that I root for, Goff, the last 4 games, 15 incompletions. That's less than 3 incompletions per game the last 4 games. He really showed up. The other point I wanted to make is Minnesota looks like they're going to contend, and it seems like all the contenders are going to come out of the NFC North this year. The NFC North does look tough. And the other takeaway as a Lion fan watching that game, basically they need a pass rusher. They do. I like throughout that fourth quarter, Sam Darnold had forever to throw the ball. They need to go out there, whether it's Zaire Smith. I can't. Okay, I gotta move on. Um, the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New York Giants 28-3. The Saquon Barkley revenge game, 17 carries, 176 yards, and a touchdown. Good for the Philadelphia Eagles. That was my one takeaway. Saquon got his revenge. The Rams beat the Las Vegas Raiders 20-15. They just need their receivers to come back. The Rams really need their receivers to come back. On the other side, Raiders fans, I don't know what you guys do at quarterback. It's rough. It was bad. It's bad when your biggest worry is Aiden O'Connell gets injured, and then you got Minshew back in there and he throws 3 picks. So your quarterback situation is tough. The Carolina Panthers proved to continue to be the worst team in the NFL, losing to the Washington Commanders 40-7. McDaniels goes out of that game early. So my big takeaway, Mariota pinched hit. He did a good job pinch hit. He 18 of 23, 200 over 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Mariota shows that he's competent, that he can go in the game. Now, obviously, a little bit of concern with Jaden McDaniels because Jaden Daniels, not McDaniels, Jaden Daniels, because concern a little bit with him because the biggest red flag with him was his durability. Getting his injured is a little rough. It's his ribs. We'll see what happens there. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl rematch, 28-18. The Kansas City Chiefs takeaway in this game is they made Brock Purdy look bad. And then the San Francisco 49ers kind of made Patrick Mahomes, at least his stats look bad. They had made Purdy throw the interception 3 times, and really Kansas City Chiefs probably continue to be one of the most underrated units in the NFL. Good job for Steve Spagnuolo. The New York Jets bringing Devontae Adams in Sunday Night Football for the first time was no match for the Pittsburgh Steelers, bringing Russell Wilson in to the starting lineup for the first time, who had over 250 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. And I'm going to take the early L on this one. I thought that Fields would be the better option at QB because of his electric playmaking ability, right? Like running the ball. But Wilson did a really good job leading that offense to 37, helping that offense to get to that 37-point mark. The Monday Night Football matchup, the Baltimore Ravens just destroyed the Buccaneers 41-31. That game wasn't as close as a score. Big takeaway, Lamar Jackson, 5 TDs. He looked on point. And Henry, I will say this all year, every single time I talk about him, he's the sign of the offseason. He had 15 carries for 169 yards. He is an absolute beast. On the other side, just Tampa Bay unfortunately lost Evans in the game, and then later on in the game, probably when he shouldn't have been in the game, Chris Godwin ankle was dislocated, so that's sad. So we'll see how the Bucks navigate through that, because really they look like a team that could win the NFC South. And finally, the LA Chargers lose to the Arizona Cardinals. It was probably Herbert's best game as under Jim Harbaugh, which ain't saying a whole lot because he hasn't quite looked like himself, learning a new offense, and especially like a heavy run focused offense. It's probably a little tough for Herbert not being able to unload the way he is normally used to, but I think he'll get there. I like him, so I think he'll get there. But on the other side, Connor was probably the player of the game with over 150 yards, and the big catch to lead the Cardinals to the field goal. And one thing I can't figure out the Cardinals. I don't know if anyone can. They beat the Niners. They get waxed by the Packers. They're probably like the bad good team or the good bad team. You know how there's like one or two like good bad teams or bad good teams or whatever. They're probably under that category because of how inconsistent they are from week to week and what we can expect from them. So that is what I have for week 7. Them are my Tuesday takeaways. Let me know in the comments down below again. What was your Tuesday takeaway? What did you take away from this weekend of NFL? If you're a Chicago Bears fan or a Dallas Cowboy fan, hopefully your takeaway was we needed the rest or we got rest. That's your takeaway. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.